My wife messaged me this morning. We always say good morning to each other. She told me she broke the back door. She's not sure how she did that. And started a cup of coffee and didn't have a cup to put the coffee in. We have a Keurig. So I guess the coffee poured out on the counter. And then she sat down in a chair and the chair broke. You know, as horrible as things get, as horrible as things are, at least we get another day to try again. Last night, I almost died. I'm not stretching the truth. I'm not saying that, I had a heart attack or anything like that. I was actually in a good mood and stopped at a truck stop in Cordell, Georgia. Went in to get a shower. Come out. I was feeling good after the shower. I was joking with the cashier. I had bought a few things and was headed back out to my truck. And she asked if I wanted to use my points to make my purchase. And I said, no, I'll save it for a rainy day. And she started laughing because it was pouring down rain, right? Here I was getting a shower and it was pouring down rain outside, but hey, it made me feel better. So, walked out of the store, stepped off of the sidewalk, looked both ways, was walking across the fuel island, and out of nowhere, I saw this dump truck come flying through the fuel island the wrong way. Okay, they weren't circling the parking lot and going through the fuel island the correct way. They come in the exit for the truck stop, went through the fuel island backwards. As soon as they passed the truck, that there was a truck in the fuel island. As soon as they passed it, they made this sharp U-turn and started heading back towards the fuel island. Guess where I was standing? Right behind that truck that was getting fuel. They made that turn so sharp, all I could hear was the roar of the engine, and I saw a grill and two headlights right at me. It was coming straight at me. They had to have been doing 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. I went this way, I went that way. I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. At the last minute, I jumped and went towards the passenger side of the dump truck, and it hit my arm, knocked my arm backwards behind me. And I was just in shock. I mean, I was just in a panic shock. I didn't know what to do. I was like, did this really just happen? I almost died. I mean, they almost literally ran me over in the truck stop. I turned, and usually I'm not like this, I'm not that mean and hateful of a person unless it's just something like that. I went right towards that dump truck. The door flew open, and what I saw next just sent me into a rage. It was a woman, 30, 40 years old, I don't know, somewhere in that range, 30 to 40 years old, was sitting here with one hand on the steering wheel, the other on her phone. No joke. Was sitting there looking at her phone, and took the phone and threw it on the dash of the dump truck and turned around to get out, and I just lost it. I mean, I just absolutely lost my mind. I lost my mouth. I said stuff that I shouldn't have said. I don't even know all the words that I called her. I mean, I just lost it. I was in panic. I was in shock, and I just had to get this out. And I screamed and yelled and cussed and called her every name that I could think of to call her, and told her to put her damn phone down and drive your truck. You almost killed me. You almost ran over me. Do you not see what you're doing? And she was just sitting there shaking, I never saw you. Where were you? And I said, I was right in front of you. You hit me with the fender of your truck. I never saw you. I said, I had a bright red duffel bag in one hand and a white bag with some snacks in it in the other hand. And I was waving both of them in front of you to try to get your attention. You were too worried about being on your phone. I wasn't. And I said, don't tell me you weren't on your phone, because when I walked up here right behind you, you had your phone in your hand. I said, were you on your phone or not? I'm getting loaded if you see it shaking. She finally admitted, yes, I was on my phone. I was checking my text. I said, lady, it's raining. You come through the wrong way on the fuel island. You did a flip and you gassed on it and hit that fuel island. What possesses you to go 25 and 30 miles an hour through the parking lot to begin with? On top of that, it's dark, it's raining, and you're on your cell phone. What are you thinking? By the time I left, she was just in tears. She had just tears streaming down her face and just, she was just in a fit. I'm so sorry. Woo! And I said, you really would have been sorry if you would have killed me. If I could not have jumped out of the way. I literally, I was just like putting my hands up, trying to brace myself because she was that close. She was within 5 feet. The grill was like within 5 feet of my face when I jumped out of the way. I almost died. There was a guy just the other day got hit in a fuel island. A truck driver got hit in a fuel island. And that the police or the EMS, someone had to go put a tourniquet on his legs to keep him from bleeding out on the fuel island. People, you're not going to make more money going through the parking lot at 35 and 40 miles an hour. We're all in a mess. We're all in a situation. My owner-operator truck is parked in the driveway. I can't be an owner-operator right now. I went back to being a company driver, but I'm still not going to do 35 and 40 miles an hour through the fuel island just to save a minute's worth of time. You're not. You're not. I have heard this story my whole life, truck driving. I have heard this thing my whole life through truck driving. It started way back when they were wanting to cut the speed down on trucks, because trucks were wide open. They were 85, 95 miles an hour back in the day when I started driving. And people would say, if you left North Carolina going to Los Angeles, you had one truck that ran 85 miles an hour, and you had another truck that ran 70 miles an hour. You're going to get to Los Angeles or North Carolina, whichever way you're going. You're going to get there within a few minutes of each other. You're going to stop. You're going to have to get a shower. You're going to have to take a break. You're going to have to get some food. You're going to have to get rest, fuel, everything else. Now, does that mean you need to drive 35 miles an hour everywhere you go? Out on the interstate, just set your cruise at 35 and just set in the center lane and just hold everybody up? No, I'm not talking about from one extreme to another. But if you're just driving your vehicle normally, doing the speed limit or around the speed limit, being cautious, being careful, being considerate of others, we're all going to get there about the same time as each other. I mean, whenever you're filling out, when you're doing your pre-trip and everything, and if you're doing it the right way and you're figuring your route out, your fuel out, your stops out, you're doing all of this stuff. It doesn't matter if you have a 75 mile an hour truck or a 68 mile an hour truck. You're going to be there within just a few minutes of each other, maybe an hour difference. Is it worth going 35 miles an hour through the fuel island just to save 5 minutes? You're not even going to save that much time. If I went into a truck stop at 3 miles an hour from one side of the truck stop to the other, and you went through the fuel island and went through the truck stop at 30 miles an hour, it's going to be like 30 seconds difference. Truck stops are not that big. 30 seconds or a minute difference to get from one side of the truck stop to the other. Why do you need to do 35 miles an hour? And I see so many drivers doing this. And it's become a worse and worse problem. The only way I can tell you folks is to stop it, is just stop it. If you're guilty of doing this, stop doing it. It's not worth killing someone. I'm old. I can't run 30 miles an hour to get out of your way. I didn't want to get in this woman's way whenever she was getting through the parking lot. I didn't want to be there. She put herself in that position. I had no choice but to just dodge or jump or slide or something to get out of her way. Why? And then after she got to the fuel island, she, like I said, she flung her door open, was sitting here with one hand on the steering wheel, the other on her phone, looking at the text for like however long it took me to get from the back of that trailer, 60 or 70 foot up there to where she was at, a minute, maybe minute and a half. The whole time she was sitting there with her phone in her hand. She wasn't in a hurry to get fuel. She wasn't in a hurry to get to the restroom. She wasn't in a hurry to do anything. She was in a hurry to stop that vehicle so she could read her text or look at her Facebook or something. Is that really that important? Is it really that important to kill somebody to look at a text or look at an update on your Facebook? Really? Is that important? I mean, there was a guy just the other day in a big truck, slammed into another big truck. Well, it's happened quite a while ago, but he was sentenced because he was on TikTok looking at videos and rear-ended and killed, like 4 people, 5 people? There's a guy, I said, I deleted that video. It's gone. I was going on a rant about it, and it was way worse than what this rant was, in my opinion. But a guy that I really look up to on YouTube, a really good guy. He's just a phenomenal YouTuber. And he put out a video just wanting to say an update. This is me, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm doing. And he was recording it doing 70 miles an hour down the road, and he was doing like this, moving the camera around. And I'm like, you could have pulled over and within 5 or 10 minutes made that video and went on. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. People are like this because we're so stressed out. I think I think we are losing our ability to talk to each other. We're losing our ability to communicate with each other. People are getting to where they hate being in vehicles and hate driving. They're doing the job because they have to instead of because they want to. There's no brotherhood or sisterhood out here anymore. There's no communication. I did a video just the other day about we're losing our ability to communicate. I put my email in every single video. If you'll go down to the description, I put my email in every single video. Come on to the channel and talk. Now, I'm not going to put you on the channel if you're just talking a bunch of garbage. I turned a guy down the other day. He was wanting to do an interview style video with me. He was wanting to talk a bunch of garbage. Self-absorbent, self-worth kind of thing. And I'm like, I can't agree with that. I just can't. That's not what I'm about. That's what this channel is not about. It's not about self-worth and building yourself up and I deserve this and blah, blah, blah. That's what's wrong with our society right now, is too many people think they're better than somebody else. It's more important that I check my phone and my updates and my status. I'm noteworthy. I'm the greatest thing that ever was. I've got to check this because it's vitally important. You're running over and almost trying to kill people in the parking lot because of stupid crap on your phone, because you are self-absorbent and you think that you are something so great. We're only here for a short amount of time, people. I was talking to my friend Scott last night. We were doing text. I was parked and we were texting back and forth last night. And this was like the conversation we were having. I did not put those words in his mouth. I was not texting. I was texting him, but I wasn't telling him what to text me. And he was telling me this is why this is so important. This is why the channel is so important. And he's thinking about doing a YouTube channel like this. I think he would be great at it. I think he would be wonderful. He's very knowledgeable. And he was like, this is about spreading the word and getting the word out. My point taken right there. I mean, folks, you've got to be considerate of others. You've got to think about other people. Quit being so self-absorbent and only considering you and yourself and what you're worth and what you deserve and what's good for you. You know the best way to help yourself? I have heard this my whole life. The best way to help yourself is to help someone else. And you say, well, that's contradictory. Why would I want to help someone else? I'm trying to do this for me. Because it doesn't work like that in the world. If you want to help someone, then do it with good intentions of helping someone, and it will just like come back to you. And I don't understand how it all works, and I don't question it. But when you're so self-absorbent and you're so into yourself and all you think about is self-worth and self-dignity and self-validation, that's a good way to push everybody away from you, because they just look at you and say, that's an arrogant ass. But when you go around and you help others and you give to others and you give your time to others, there you go. It's what I was telling Scott last night in our conversation. I've been stuck at $19 that YouTube owes me for doing these videos. I've been stuck at it for months now, and I can't break it. I'm not doing YouTube and all this video stuff for monetary gain. I'm making literally nothing. YouTube has not paid me anything for months. They just got it locked in there. $19 is what we owe you. It'll go up to like 1947 and 1948 and 1950. And it's just sitting there. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess YouTube don't want to pay me. And what's weird about it is YouTube is running ads on my videos every single day. They'll be running ads on this one every day that somebody clicks on that. It's another ad, another ad, another ad, and YouTube is making money and money and money. Am I getting it? No. But it's not about, that's what I'm saying. It's not about me. It's not about the money. Is it frustrating? Yes. But it's about others and helping others. You know, I would still be doing this if I had $100,000 in the bank. If I had $1,000,000 in the bank, that would be wonderful, because then I could do even more stuff to help each other out. That's the way I look at it. But I can promise you, I'm not going to be going through a parking lot at 35 miles an hour trying to hurry up and get somewhere so I can check my text on my phone. When I see somebody coming, I slow down and stop. The ELD is not going to run my day. And that's what I hear so many people. I'm racing against the clock. I've got to hurry. You know, I could care less about the ELD. I could care less that the company calls me and, you've got to hurry. You've got to hurry. You've got an appointment. I'll say, I get there when I get there. If you don't like it, send me down the road. I don't care. And I really don't care. I really don't. Just remember, folks, slow down, watch your environment, watch who's in front of you, get off your dadgum phone while you're in the parking lot doing 35 miles an hour. You shouldn't be doing either. And another thing, tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Keep that in mind. Anyway, we're in a rainy day. Look at this. We are in a rainy, rainy day in Atlanta, Georgia. Look, rain is dripping down on my truck. We're soggy, rainy day down here in Atlanta. But we're alive. And that's a good thing. I didn't get killed last night. I almost did, though. You guys be careful. Try not to get killed in the parking lot. Slow down. Get off your dadgum phone. Watch what's in front of you. Not your phone, the windshield. Trying to help you guys out. Have a good day.